Yeah, I mean, look, we've not really spoken about Zubimendi that much, and it's a bit of it's interesting, isn't it? Because we've obviously bought so many players this summer, and for me, it feels like Zubimendi is like it's like he's been with us for years in terms of he's just come in to a very, very kind of like tough position in the middle of the park from another league, and obviously, look, he's a quality player, not just because we're saying it because he plays for us, but if he's being picked for the Spanish national team, basically the best team in the world at the moment, arguably, but probably. He's obviously he is a genuine top level player. But what's impressed me so much is that one, he's come in and he's settled in so quickly, and he's formed, this kind of like partnership. I mean, obviously on Saturday it was with Marino, but Declan Rice normally. And I think the other really interesting thing is like, this is going to sound contradicting. I can't tell you, I wouldn't be able to tell you if you asked me what he's really, really, really good at. But then I think that's a sign of the fact that he's just come in and he's doing his thing. Like he's just doing his thing. And the team, you wouldn't, based on kind of like how we attack and how we play and how we build up, it doesn't feel any different to last season in a lot of ways, or in previous seasons. I know he's a very, very different profile player to Thomas Partey, of course, but do you know what I mean? Like it just feels like it's been sort of seamless in some ways, and I'm just massively impressed with like him coming in. Obviously, the goals, like we're talking about him because he scored these two goals, and one of them was brilliant. But yeah, like what are your thoughts on Zubimendi?
There's a broader point here, which I think they didn't really talk about in the analysis that I saw of the game in England. There's a really broader point here. Let's think about it for a second, right? If you think about this season, if you look at how Arsenal were last season and how good we were last season, particularly towards the end of last season, whatever. Think about all the good things we do, and a lot of it you put down to the fact that you've had a coach who's been able to work with this team for a good amount of years and has got these principles and these frameworks just totally drilled, right? We defend in a certain way that every single man on the pitch, every sub that comes on, they know exactly what they're meant to do. They're so well drilled. I wouldn't even say arguably anymore, we are the best defensive side in Europe. It's so clear, right? But the remarkable thing when I think about it, right, is if you look at the Nottingham Forest game, let's look at the lineup. The front three were all signed this summer. They weren't even signed at the beginning of the summer. Like Madueke was sort of signed towards the beginning of pre-season. Gyökeres came in the middle, didn't have a pre-season, and Eze was signed after the season started. Then let's just take Odegaard out for a second because he only played for 20 odd minutes. And basically Ethan Ranieri playing as a number 10, he's 18. In centre midfield, you had Zubimendi, as you said, summer signing, and Mikel Merino, who's basically our backup 8. Declan Rice normally plays that role, yeah? So I've basically just, in that number in itself, those are 4 new signings out of those, 6 players. One's and the other one's an 18-year-old, and the other one is the backup 8. Then even when you look at the defenders, Calafiori wasn't really starting left back last season, and Christian Mosquera is a new sign. That's so many new players to be in the starting lineup. It's unreal if you think about it as a quantity. That's so many new players, an entire forward line, completely new players. Mate, there was not one part of the Nottingham Forest game that didn't look like a completely drilled, articulate Arteta team. They all just played as if they had been playing together with those Arteta principles, with whatever we've been doing well for the last couple of years. They were all on that page. Now, like, there were things that maybe clearly we still need to work on. Like, I think the relationship between some of our players, I think we still need to figure out how best to work with Gyökeres when we've got the ball. There's definitely some stuff that we need to get better at. That will happen with time, but just structurally and like basic principles, like it's just incredible how consistent yesterday's performance was with how we have been for a couple of years. So I think that's remarkable. I'm not well versed enough in football coaching to understand how exactly you do that and why we've been able to kind of replicate that regardless of this very, very new lineup.